You're now listening to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast. Garage Guy Chase, Chef BoiRDeen.
Vision. Lower on your energy today.
For one time, I always gotta give the shout out to Drip Drop as we start this show off. But
drinking some.
You got some Drip Drop. I had some a little bit, but for a one-time deal, today's episode is brought to you by Rowdy Energy. Because right now I need it. I'm a tired boy. It's been a long weekend. I know you've had a long weekend coming off the BP, the bachelor party.
And I'm a little mad at old Rowdy. Even though he couldn't control it.
I'm going to say this. Because this episode is brought to you by, shout out to Samantha and Kyle, by the way, for being awesome. Not being the kind of people that most NASCAR fans would think they are, like, too hot to trot up top. Literally got back in touch with me and sent us a care package of Rowdy Energy. So we got some shirts, got some keychains, got some drinks to try out. We're going to take some pictures. We're going to do some cool stuff. Big shout out to Kyle and Samantha. That literally changed the way I viewed Kyle Busch as a person, because usually you reach out to companies and things like that, and then you don't hear back from them or whatever. But not this time. Not Samantha. Not Kyle. So shout out to those two. We appreciate you guys.
Episode where I announced my fandom. Remember with me, you, and Jency?
It's possible.
Kyle Busch fan. So
it's possible. I think Samantha watches us more than Kyle does, so she probably told him. Yeah,
I'm perfectly cool with that too.
Yeah. Samantha's tight. She's cool. But yeah, I love the Rowdy Energy. I got to get you some. I got to mail them out to you. The raspberry lemonade and the cherry limeade are the two that I've tried. This is my first time trying the cherry limeade. Super good. So definitely shout out to them. Go check it out. Get you some.
Is this your first one to drink or not? You tried other flavors.
I tried raspberry lemonade, and this is the second one that I've tried. So I've been taking it slow.
How many hours of energy does it give you? The first time you did it, 4 hours?
When I drank the raspberry lemonade, I mean, I was I was riding the wave, dude. I was driving down the highway, and it tastes sexy. Okay, I will say this, the cherry limeade, it tastes sexy too. This may be the sexiest energy drink I've ever tasted. And if you don't know what sexy tastes like, let me just describe it for you. It goes in, it's not too sugary, it's not too strong. And it's a flavor burst, just punches you in the mouth. The Kool-Aid man comes in and says, "Oh yeah," like Macho Man Randy Savage, but it's got this light overtone to it. So it's just hey, we're not trying to corrupt your gut. We're here for good. And then you just get this, it's this force field comes around your body, and then you're just kind of lifted, and you're just lightly just floating all day long, and it's just keeping you going, and you just feel this good clean energy. So they did a hell of a job with this.
It's Gusher. Remember the snack Gushers as kids? This
one does kind of taste like a fruit gusher. I will say that this one has a fruit gusher taste, but it's not sugary. It's nice. It's got 60% less sugar, but it's green tea caffeine, endurance and focus, and enhanced energy. The green tea and caffeine is where it's at. So it's a natural deal. 90 calories.
Nice.
So shout out to Rowdy Energy.
Comparison. I just guessed that. That's pretty nice.
You did. For the cherry limeade, I will say. But so far, raspberry lemonade's my all-time fave as of right now. So I have two more flavors to try. But getting to the race, I think we've talked enough about that. But shout out to them, Rowdy Energy. Appreciate you, Kyle, Samantha. This race started out crazy. We had our picks video come out, obviously. One of my favorites. It was definitely a fun one. But we were very high on Kyle Busch. I checked out your rankings. I know a lot of the Roto Ballers, Garage fam that were, making DFS lineups and betting and stuff. I mean, obviously I was going to take Kyle at plus 700. But, dude, I don't think anybody would have expected him to wreck like that. And I can't remember 100% how it happened, but obviously somebody got into him. I don't think that he just like purposely took off to the wall because he just wanted to go home because he was like, screw this, I'm out.
Yeah, it was a fluke for sure. I mean, it just kind of sums up 2020, man. 2020 for Kyle Busch and 2020 for us. It's just
– I don't believe that.
Yeah. I mean, how many times now have we said this just seems like the one Kyle Busch is going to win? It's been at least 4 or 5 times for us.
It's not us. It's not us. And
everybody's saying that, though.
Yeah, everybody's saying it, but that's because he's saying it. This is what Kyle needs to do, okay? And I make my jokes about the funny, like, you know, the Danica Patrick crystals and chakra energies and shit. And I always tag my wife just because she's into that and we're into it. I'm not going to lie. We're into that shit. Who cares? I mean, we're some weird shit. But that shit works, okay? It's game-changing shit. And I think that obviously there's something going on with Kyle, like in his mind. There's a decision that has got to be made. There is this resistance that's in him. He's not happy. Something's going on that is outside of the dynamic that they can't get things right in the garage. Okay? Logano ran pretty good today. Brad Keselowski, that hasn't been that superb, he won the race.
How much money would you have placed on if you would have had a bet you could place on Brad Keselowski scoring less than 100 fantasy points? You would take it 100 days out of 100, and that
absolutely
like 118 points. I'm so tilted because of DFS today, but it was just one of those races. Nothing really worked out. And I mean, you were high on Kenseth too, not just Kyle Busch, but Kenseth was one of our big plays.
Huge letdown, Matt Kenseth, and then it got to the point to where when he kept getting out on the track, like I was just like, go to the garage, like go, like get, yeah, like I've already lost my unit, it's gone. Like shoo now. My plus 5,000, my I'm gonna start calling those bets instead of the Gut Boys. I'm gonna call them my JPs from Angels in the Outfield. It could happen. Yeah, my JP bet of the week plus 5,000.
The worst thing you could have seen is Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon run 1-2 in that race. Now you're gonna think every race you can get that plus 5,000.
Dude, no, not even that. Cole Custer. I mean, think about that one.
We got Cole Custer too.
No, I mean, I don't think you're going to get it every race, but looking at Kenseth's record, and then, you know, they were coming out all excited. Oh, we've got Kenseth's car tweaked now to where it's more to his liking. I'm like, okay, well, he's pretty good at New Hampshire. He's had some decent luck. He had a really great run here in the past. Wasn't that long ago.
14th all day too.
Yeah,
doing terrible. I mean,
yeah, he wasn't doing horrible by any means. But the big surprise I think of the day, we had a good idea that Ricky Stenhouse might get a top 20, okay, starting in 31st. He and Ryan Preece both. Ryan Preece, I think, finished 13th at this track.
After 4 straight races being like last or second to last. Yeah.
Hell of a day for JTG Daugherty. Big shout out to them. They worked their asses off today. And that team deserves everything, and those drivers deserve it all too. So, like, nothing negative to say about Ryan Preece or Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Have you noticed how we either like nail these picks, or when we miss big, and when we nail them, we nail them? It doesn't seem like we have many days where like our misses are guys that score 30 points. Like they're going to get negative points, or they're going to be a home run usually.
Yeah, I think that it's like
qualifying. Is that what that is?
Well, this seems to happen a lot when we pick Kyle Busch. I don't want to add any more fuel to the fire, but I will say just real quick, going back to that before I do get on the subject, get your head positive, Kyle. If this finds you, if Samantha shows you this episode, get your head positive, man. Be positive, and everything's going to work itself out. And if it doesn't work itself out this year, you can't not think that he's going to not come back with a vengeance next season. Like it's going to be like unstoppable force of nature. Like you're just not going to be able to stop it. But it can change right now. Mindset and mentality is everything.
He could do this the rest of the season. I still would be putting him as a top driver. I mean,
absolutely.
If you don't think Kyle Busch can drive, then you're insane. So
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, like I said, it's just get more positive, man. Get the team positive. If you're positive, the team's going to be positive. Everybody's going to be positive in the team. You're going to do great. Getting to back to our picks though.
Wait, were you just giving a pep talk to Kyle Busch? Is that what that was?
Yeah, he needs it. Yeah, he needs it right now. He needs it. I'm that big headed that I think that my words are going to change Kyle Busch's approach to life. Just like you've got all this stuff, money and success, and I'm just chilling in a bedroom with Dale Earnhardt pictures behind me, and I'm going to tell you how to live your life now, Kyle. KFB. Cheers. But no, yeah, dude, there have been, I think that we just get stuck on the races that we've been hit the hardest like that. Because, like, dude, we're pretty consistent. Like, we've been riding the middle line pretty well. You've won tournaments. But, like, we think back to, like, Miami. Like, dude, that race sticks in my head to this day.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, so it's a fine line, but I mean, it's just keeping a look at the data, looking at the recency stuff, you know, the recent successes that drivers have had. Like, a lot of people were against Denny Hamlin. And a lot of people were high on Truex. And I was high on Truex.
Highest-end driver. Hamlin was the highest-end driver, so I think he was.
Yeah. People talked about him. But looking back, if you look back at, like, years past, like, where he's done, because supposedly this package was similar to a couple years ago. And so I know some people out there were a little bit lower and a little bit higher on Truex. I was higher on Truex. I thought Truex was going to be able to do the damn thing. But
Truex and Hamlin were my two highest-end guys in the whole field today.
Same. I had a lot of them. And, you know, Denny did really good. It's just right there at the end, his car just went to garbage. And he couldn't get the most out of it.
Incredible DFS day, though, right? I mean, he had, 85 something?
Yes.
He had a ton of points. So
yeah, I had it all riding on him. I did get lucky, though, like in the beginning of the race, like when I saw how our guy, Brad Keselowski, not our guy, but how Brad K was running, I was very quick to hit the plus 800 odds.
You hedged out, or you added a fourth driver?
I did. Yeah, I added another driver, and I hedged myself, and I put a unit on him, and I ended up breaking even. Actually, I made a little bit. I think I made like $50 or something. I don't know.
Did you think Joey was going to get the lead at some point and hold it for a while? I kept thinking it was coming.
No, I personally, like, dude, once I saw what Brad had and what Denny had, like, I was already under the impression, okay, it's going to be these two all the way out. Like, Kevin, I thought that, like, Kevin had the opportunity. If people started running out of gas, Kevin was going to pull like a Jackson Storm from Cars 3 and just zoom out.
How do these people – the fuel mileage window, they exceeded it by like 20 laps. Did you notice that?
Yeah, they got I don't know what they're doing. Like, I think Elon Musk has a secret deal with them, and they have electric cars now.
I was pissed, dude. I was pissed.
I was too. I wanted Brad to run out of gas, and I wanted Denny to win that race, man. Because I went and threw another $100 on Denny towards the end.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I was super pissed, man.
I don't blame you,
dude, Denny, dude. I don't know. I got Denny energy, man. Denny energy.
Corey would not be happy with that.
Probably not, dude. I mean, I hate it. But I mean, Corey said it's the equipment. You know, I don't think Corey can be mad at me for that. I hate it for Corey too. But you know what I will say about Corey? That's a hard motherfucker, dude. He went into the garage. I had to fix the car up. He got back out there like 38 laps down and was like, I'm gonna use this as practice. That's a fucking race car driver right there. Mad respect for Corey LaJoie.
He's had some nice DFS days for us too. Not too long ago. I mean, we had him on the show, and that day I think he had a good day for us. So,
can I punch some people? Can I mentally punch some people real quick that played Christopher Bell at 10K?
Yeah, finally
fucked up. I laughed my ass off, dude, when that happened, because it's like, look, I'm not gonna spend 10. Like, look, yeah. The only thing that people could really justify is like Christopher Bell at short tracks is decent, but it's like, well, Matt DiBenedetto ran 5th in that car last season, you know, and then he got up to 5th, and like all those people were like, it's Levine Family Racing. It's the car. And it's like, nah, and then Matt DiBenedetto gets up to 5th right towards him before Harvick fucking steals it from him.
Yeah.
Speaking
of him, he had a hell of a day. DiBenedetto did. So
one of the picks in my article, man. Dude, it's I was putting it all together, and I add 3 guys to my Rotoballer picks after the 5 guys that we talk about, and DiBenedetto had to be one of them, man. I was like, you know what? I know he's like 8,000. He's right there in that middle tier. I was like, but I got a really good feeling about him. I don't think it was just the car last year.
Yeah, I liked him a lot today too. I think I had him in a fair
Loves
share.
this track.
Yeah. I on a lot of the non-Kenseth lineups, I put a lot of De Benedetto and John Hunter. And John Hunter checked out, man. But he was starting. See, that's the thing that DraftKings does. So how do you justify Christopher Bell being 10K starting 35th, but then you have John Hunter starting 36 and he's 7K? Like, is there really a 3K difference between those two drivers?
Dude, I don't understand any of it, honestly. Like, I don't understand why Christopher Bell keeps getting put where he's put at. I mean, I know that it goes off of like points or what is it, like team?
I don't think they do that. I think it's just recent performance and how much ownership they carry from week to week. And they do this new thing. It's called dynamic.
No, I'm
pricing.
talking about the random draw. Like, how does
the drawing?
How does he keep getting put back in the 30s? You know,
I think it's something to do with I can't remember, but based on who maybe charters you or something like that. I don't know, but there's a reason he's always back there, and it's getting kind of old. But if he's 10K, I'm just not going to play him. I'm going to put him in a few lineups, some low dollar stuff, and then move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I just I can't justify paying up for him. There's just way better value out there. Ryan Blaney, who did he what voodoo witch doctor did he piss on?
Every race, it seems like this happens, right?
I'm over it with him. I played him in a good bit of lineups. And what pissed me off the most is that I made a good bit of lineups, and all my Kes lineups had no Denny. But you know who I did have? Kyle Busch. Paired all my Kes with KB. Yeah, my Kes was paired with KB.
I thought Blaney or Truex or Logano, one of those three was going to try to make it a 3-man race today, and they really couldn't. Harvick kind of made there was a short period of time where Harvick was trying to be that guy.
Yeah, I'm glad that we didn't go full-fledged on him. Like, I didn't have like a spectacular feeling about him this week just because it's just for him, it seems like for Denny, it seems like the momentum is strong going into every week. For Harvick, you can I feel like by watching his interviews, and I don't know how much of his interviews you're watching or anything like that, like just like checking. Like, I'm big on like watching drivers' demeanors and like their, how they're feeling, what they're doing. And watching some of his stuff this week, like it just seemed like he was just kind of checked out, and I don't know. That was, and it might be scary to find out that that's how I make some of my judgments, but
I'm just surprised that you're like watching midweek interviews and stuff. Where do you are you watching that like on TV or YouTube or
no, online, and then NASCAR Media. NASCAR Media has got a lot of cool stuff, and we have access to that stuff. You know what I found out? We actually could be interviewing drivers throughout the week because of our NASCAR Media credentials. Why aren't we doing it? I know.
I think we
just decided we're doing this now. And I think the Garage fam's going to love it. If you're going to love it, tweet at us. Let us know.
How quickly will we lose our credential when we start asking questions that we want to ask?
We're going to have to be sneaky. We're going to have to be really sneaky about it.
The first time I get an opportunity to speak up, and I'm like, all right, guys, I got a rapid fire question set for you guys. If you'll just hold on real quick, I'm going to pull up my phone and start.
Just do chef specials. Just do nothing but chef specials like the whole time. Yeah, dude, we would lose our login. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm having some trouble logging in. Are you those Guy Garage boys? Yeah. Oh, get out of here. You're banned. You're out.
Yeah, we'd have to ask about track history. You got to leave. I'm like, all right, see y'all later.
Yeah. Maybe we can call our boy Daniel Albano about that one. He can teach us a little bit of how to do some things. Yeah, work it out a little bit.
My notepad out and just taking notes every time I get on NASCAR Media, and
we'll get our little pass. We can get retweeted by Jeff Gluck. All right, shout out to Daniel Albano. But Eric Almirola, do you want to talk about him before we move forward? Continued. Yeah, dude. Top 10.
5 in a row?
I don't even. I've lost count. I know he's going to be there. He's going to be there.
Dude,
he'll be there for you.
Looks just as fast as Harvick. It really does.
Dude, yeah, people were tweeting at me like, is he going to get another top 10? Bet. Big bet. Bet on him right now. Do it. Bacon Boy all the way. He needs to get sponsored by Wendy's.
Funny. It's so funny how like literally 3 months ago we were saying we never hear ourselves talking about him as a DFS play.
And look at us now.
How things can change. How the cards are tabled.
Yeah, how the turntables. And then I also love the fact that like people are now referring to him as Bacon Boy. Just like I see it on Twitter all the time. It's Bacon Boy now. I think we brought that. To light. Yeah. So I'm appreciative. I'm appreciative of us that we
finish. The SHR teammate. Where do you
Dude, so Chris Boyer. Clint Boyer, it wasn't a good finish for him. He finished 18th. He's bitching about not getting a good starting position. I think we found out something today, though. He pissed a lot of people off. He was driving aggressive as shit. He is the grown up Noah Gragson. He pisses everybody off.
Do you think so?
Yeah. Today he was, at least. No, it's not all the time. But him and Noah either smoked a bowl or fucking had some beers or hung out, went to dinner. They did something this weekend because Clint.
Boyer's in the media now. He's like one foot's in the media, and he's watching Gregson race, and he's like, "Man, I like this guy's energy."
Yeah, he's like, "I want a mohawk mullet,"
What if he just came out with a mohawk? I do want to see Boyer get back in the victory lane, though, just so he has that 2-week bender.
So bad.
Yeah,
like I just want to see Boyer get a championship. Could you imagine that?
Ooh. That's not happening.
Do you think he would come out alive? Or would he he would just like have alcohol poisoning and have to go to the hospital?
I think he fronts like he parties harder than he actually does, just saying.
He probably gets home and he's just like, Cash, bring me a seltzer.
Yeah.
Taking a break from the bush. Daddy's beat.
Daddy's past his prime. He needs him a seltzer.
Yeah. They call Kyle Larson's wife to come chug the beer for him. She's good at that.
Yeah, we got to bring Larson back just for that reason. Nothing to do with him. I
just miss your wife, dude. Like I just want to see your wife chug.
Somebody to be Mr. Studio Girl.
That's it. Well, there's been a lot of rumors swirling around that he could end up at Stewart Haas Racing if he does come back into the Cup Series.
Whose spot would he take?
Probably Boyer's. I don't know if they're going. If Boyer gets out, I would think so. He would take the 14. I don't know if Almirola is going to go anywhere at this point. He's like, I'm fighting for my job. I got to bring home the bacon, literally. Shout out to Smithfield,
young, right?
I think he's a couple years older than us. Yeah, he's in his 30s.
But he's not. I mean, Boyer's obviously almost done, like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, I think Boyer's ready to get into the booth, dude. Boyer's going to be able to bring – Boyer's going to be like he's going to have like Pat McAfee-esque type stuff. And when KB gets in the booth –
it's like a mild version of that. But, yeah, I can see it. I think Jimmy is going to do one more season, by the way. Jimmy's going to do one more season. I'm calling Clint's going to do one more season.
Blake Shelton tweeted and was like, Jimmy, please, Jimmy, for me and Gwen, please just do another year for it. I don't even know if that's how he talks, but I'd like to imagine that's how my what did I say his name was? Dierks Bentley? I can't remember now. I'm really bad with these country music.
I don't remember this.
I don't know either. The guy from The Voice that married Gwen Stefani.
It's Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton, yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's just like, Jimmy, please don't go on us. Rona's invaded America. We need you back.
He's won 8 championships, so he needs to come back for 9. And
right, 100%. That's no mathematical error either, guys. That's real talk.
I'm trying to build him up from external motivation that he has an 8th championship. And what's frustrating about his season, that is, man, when he's running good, he's good. He just always screws up. Like his green flag speed's been pretty good this year.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It just seems like I don't know. I'm of the opinion that like you need to go. Like it's over, bro. Like it's over. Like this is a terrible retirement year for him. Not even with Corona. Yeah,
that's why I think he's gonna come back. It's just not it's just such a weird year. But I'm with you. I mean, it's kind of run its course, right?
If he comes back, like he's got to win at least one race. Like he's not going to win a championship. He's not. Yeah. And I say that with all hope that like if this ever found him, that he would use it as motivation to win a championship, like Tom Brady does with the media, or to shut people up. But I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah, I think I want him to come back, but depending on how I would want to know how the shuffling of cars would go and who would come in to the Cup Series if he didn't, and then that would help me answer if I want him back. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I can predetermine, know who the talent we'd be getting.
So much, dude. Like, have you seen all the Bubba Wallace news that came out recently about like Richard Petty is like offering him to buy into Richard Petty Motorsports, like to own it, like to own a piece. Share. Yes, to own a piece of it. Then there's Brad's pretty much came out and said he has no plans to go to Team Hendrick. So that opens up the possibility of him going to Chip Ganassi with Ken. Because I'm sure Kenseth's not coming back after this season. I think he's over. He's over.
That team is just Kurt's not doing anything. Like that team's just so dull right now. They're not doing. Kurt's not having a good year. He just he seems like he's right around that like 10 to 12 range and just falls back every time. I don't know.
Yeah, all I gotta say to Brad is that that 42 ain't no Penske car. So remember that.
I think Brad should stay right where he's at. They're all.
I do too.
Blaney, Logano, and Brad have all had speed at different times this year, and they're all three.
Yeah.
And, I mean, looking at the points, I don't have it in front of me, but they're doing fine. They're really doing good. So
imagine if Dodge came back and Penske went back to Dodge. That would, dude. I don't
know. I don't know if that would be a good thing.
I think it would be a great thing. Dude, the aerodynamic on the Challenger would be insane.
I just don't know if they want to mess with anything right now.
I don't know either. But it's interesting for Bubba, though, man, because I really feel like Hendrick would take a grab at Bubba for the 48 at this point. I really do. And
do you think that's all hype, or do you think there's real – I mean, I think he's going to stay where he's at. I think he needs more time, man. I mean,
you got an opportunity because, like, the big deal is now is there's the opportunity of what if Brad stays where he's at, what if – and this is something very realistic. Bubba goes to the 42 and gets the full McDonald's sponsorship because McDonald's has been wanting to fully sponsor him.
Do the results warrant it, or is he just more marketable now?
I mean, he's marketable. But
I agree
we also don't know, though, because like the Richard Petty Motorsports, like look, for instance, perfect example, Eric Almirola. Okay, he had a couple of decent races in the 43 when he was with Richard Petty. Then you put him in the 10, look at him now.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for Bubba to get it personally.
The 43 is not good equipment. And I think Bubba does have – I mean, you look at Bubba's record. Look at Bubba before NASCAR. Kid got into NASCAR for a reason.
Yeah, it's just tough sell when the guy's average finish is literally like 31. Like I think
that's most of the car talking though.
Yeah, but I would bet Eric's average finish was not 31 when he got that move. I bet he was doing better than that.
We'll have to go back and look at the record books. But
I hope he gets it, because if you're somebody that's looking to get somebody new into your car and you do believe he's a good driver, then it's definitely the right time to. I mean, like. He's in the public image right now. I mean, he's on camera all the time. He's speaking out a lot more.
He was just in GQ.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta at least consider it, right? So
exactly the 48 or the 42, unless they do a significant overhaul at Richard Petty Motorsports, and they would, I mean, significant. Like you would have to get that team would have to get back to when Richard Petty was racing back in the 70s. In the 60s. You know what I mean?
I don't know if they have that kind of money to pump into it either. So.
Oh, hell no, they don't. That's what I'm saying. So I think better equipment, we'll see Bubba do way better. Just because I've watched some of his old races before NASCAR. I know the kid can drive. I call him kid. He's only like a year or two younger than me. But, I know he can drive.
I just don't know how much of it's hype. We don't know if what we're reading is actually true or just more hype.
I didn't think it made any sense for Eric Almirola to go to Stewart-Haas Racing, but he did. And look at him there, Yeah. Just one of those kind of deals. So we'll see how it all transpires. But
by the way, when was that roughly? Like what is that, like 5 years ago?
Dude, Bubba's been with Richard Petty for like 3 years now.
No, the Eric move. Yeah, so that was how long ago? 3?
Like 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Because after Danica, when Danica left, that's when Eric took over.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. When Danica retired, that's when Eric took over.
Man.
So yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah, crazy times.
That memory of mine's not too short.
Oh well, I'm here for you, man. But yeah, that's about all I got. Unless you got anything else for New Hampshire, very good race for the package of the cars. I enjoyed this race.
opposite of most races where the last stage was the boring one and just ran on green. It was a green flag for 100-something laps maybe, or 90-something laps. But the first two stages were actually pretty entertaining with some passing in the lead. So I really enjoyed the first two stages, which is usually backwards for me. So.
Yeah, good bit of lead changes, man. So it was definitely a good race. I definitely want to see more stuff like this, more races like this. And we've got a very eventful weekend coming up with back-to-back racing in Michigan. So
is that Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yeah, going to be a busy weekend for me and you coming into the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get ready, hombre.
And now we got some football talk, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the majority of the football talk obviously is going to be with our special guest on this episode, Mr. Jake Ciely from The Athletic. We had him on to talk a little bit of fantasy football, the state of the NFL, and all kinds of other stuff as well. We try to find Drew a high roller league. Had a good little conversation about that as well. So it was a good episode, good interview, and we'll have that attached here. But just kind of a current update real quick on football, man. Minshew got the Rona, bro.
I know. Pretty disappointing news, but he'll be fine. We know Gardner Minshew's built to that body is built to withstand anything that comes at it. So
yeah,
he'll be fine.
Figured out. Jags are going to be okay. Jags on top unless they play the Saints, and that's how it goes. And your Patriots, but it seems like the Patriots aren't even going to be a team at this point. Had another Patriot drop. Matt Lacoste matters tons, but Matt Lacoste.
How many catches?
And Sony Michel on the physically unable to perform list.
Are you going to be a guy that goes and drafts Damian Harris, or are you going to fall for the Patriots running back?
I'm probably not going to draft anybody from New England, except for Jake Stidham. Shout out to Jake Stidham, the Stidmeister. Yeah, whatever. This is the episode where I'm bad with names. We'll take that down.
We have Jake Ciely here for interview, so you probably got the names mixed up there.
Probably get a lot of names mixed up on this one, but we'll get it figured out. Blake Shelton, Dirk Bentley. I don't know. Yeah, who cares?
Late.
Yeah, it's early.
Right after our content too. Like by Sunday night, I mean we're worn out. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure that everybody that's listening to this like Monday morning realizes that it's Sunday night. So they get that much. But yeah, Sony landed on the physically unable to perform list. I just said that so fast. And the pup. Yeah, he's a pup. Hold on. Okay, I had to use my forces of nature to stop the sneeze. Just open the nostrils, real good feeling. But other than that, man, I don't really know. I haven't dug too deep. Like I said, I've been in complete race mode all weekend, so I haven't really got to dig too deep into football. But do you have any late breaking news for the Garage Fam for football?
No, I don't. I still have to do my research for fantasy football. I've been loosely paying attention to NFL Twitter. My NBA content will be going up on Rotoballer this week, so I have been paying attention to the NBA world a little bit and watching some of those games.
Yep, sports are back. I think I got a hockey game on in there right now, so I'm about to go watch some ball. I think we got the Suns. Suns are playing tonight.
And Bucks Rockets right now.
Yeah. I got a parlay going. I need to go check that out. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and just after the Ciely interview, it'll just roll into the credits. So we're just gonna wrap it up right here. But I hope you guys enjoy this interview. And Jake Ciely is awesome. Be sure to follow him. He's got a lot of great knowledge and information on fantasy football. Literally year-round guy. Football is his jam. An amazing collection of the pop action figures, and you'll see that here in just a second. But as always, we appreciate you, Garage Fam. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and follow us. Follow me at Garage Guy Chase on Twitter. Follow Chef Boy at Chef BoiRDeen, Drew Deen. And be checking out our content on Rotoballer. Very busy month of racing coming up, and we're going to be juggling football with that. The GGFS Pro League draft in the middle of the month going to be huge. So fantasy football is back. NASCAR's in full swing. And here is Jake Ciely. Sports, party, repeat. Jake Ciely. All right, we now welcome on to the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Podcast. Longtime friend, first-time guest. Had a lot of connections. He was in our inaugural season of the Garage Guys Fantasy Sports Pro League and winner of our inaugural season, Mr. Jake Ciely. Jake, welcome aboard. Have you been?
I don't think this is not the first time. We did it together that year when I was in the league. So
yeah,
first
that
time
was
this year.
That was the first time. This is the first time you've ever been on the show.
No, I thought I was on the show when we did the league.
I don't think we can make it work. Something didn't happen.
I'm going to trust his memory over yours. I feel like that was back in your party days.
It might.
It may be.
Talking to Chase, right?
Yeah. Chase, yeah.
I'm almost positive, like, the whole point is that, like, I came on and then we did the league.
I don't know if it ever happened.
Chase? Did you interview everybody in the league that year before me?
There was
it was
one
you and somebody else. It wasn't Drew at the time.
No, it might have been. If that's true, then my memory just got whacked in the face. But
there you go.
Yeah, that never happened. So that's big. That's bold. See, big things are already happening when Jake's on the show.
Jake, Jake, I wouldn't be here if Chase wouldn't have cleaned up his act. That makes you
Yeah, it was rowdy. But you're here now, and like I said, you went in the league the first year that we had it on. It was awesome. We're getting everything together, getting ready to roll in for season 3. So I know that you're a busy guy right now, and you've got a lot of stuff going on with fantasy football, obviously. How are just initial thoughts? How are we feeling about this 2020 and where the NFL is headed going into it?
I mean, I think the baseball's bad news if the NFL is going to try and be like baseball. If the NFL tries to be like the NBA and NHL, I think everything's fine. I know a lot of people out there being negative, and they're like, oh, well, the NFL – they're doing this and they're going to do their own thing, and they're just kind of like thumbing their nose up. I don't think that. I think the NFL is legitimately just watching to see what the other three do and see what works and what doesn't. I don't think they're like 100% going with the MLB plan of like, all right, we have this whole situation. We'll kind of lock down on it, and then we'll have contingencies if. We see how that's going. The Marlins aren't playing for like a week now. The NBA, the thing is like they can't do the NBA. They can't do a full bubble. There's just no way. There's just way too many people. But I think they can watch and learn from all the three. And I think that's what they're doing. I think that's why they haven't said exactly what the plan is. I think they want to see what works and what doesn't. That's what, at least I'm trying to be positive about it. I'm trying to hope for it, because I think the NFL is going to make every damn possible opportunity to make it happen. And I'm just thinking, hopefully they're smart enough to go with that.
Hey, do you think they could do you think they could front load the schedule with all the division games and do like multiple bubbles and then do all the non-division games after, or no?
Well, that's like, I was reading an article the other day, was talking about like having city bubbles. So like having 32 city bubbles and like having the teams in the bubble for each of the 32 cities. But even that, not only do you have the players, which is 60 plus players, you have potential practice squad players that wouldn't be allowed to leave. So now you're talking about 70 to 80. Then you're talking about the coaching staff. Then you're talking about what do you do with the referees, because the referees have to travel. Like, so does every team have referees that have to stay with a team. So it's just, I can see why it's not conceivable. But to that point, like maybe it's, I don't know, maybe I'd say worst case, we look at like a really weird schedule like baseball has, where maybe, you don't play, but like your division 3 times each, and then one other division. That's certainly a possibility, but I think the NFL is going to do whatever the hell they can. I don't see at least the season starting and getting somewhere.
Right, absolutely. I know they were talking about like all the different things that they can do, but it's just that now we've got players that are opting out. I know that recently some of the big players have been Nick Foles was probably one of the bigger names, Marquise Goodwin, and I can't think of who else it was, but I know those are like the 2 that stood out for me, and I'm sure that more are coming. And looking at that in retrospect, people are still going to be playing the DFS game, like regardless. But with if we get a whole bunch of people, man, it's just going to be like another year for season-long fantasy where we just adapt and just pick up some of these guys that are on the lower ends and just hope for the best.
I think we are going to have to adapt in fantasy in general. I'm thinking, like, for example, a lot of my leagues saying, go 18 instead of 16 rounds. And that's the start. You could go further than that. Depending on how knowledgeable your league is, you don't have to stop at 18. You can go 20 and just make the benches super deep. I said this to Pat on Pat Mayo's show. I said, I think that some people need to start thinking in the back of their mind. I wouldn't say as of today, do it, but I just threw it out there as like, put this in your league's mind so it's there and you possibly have a vote before the league starts. If we get to the end of August and it's starting to look like it might be more baseball than NBA, is you still have weekly rosters when you have moves, trades, waivers, but your lineup is best ball every single week. Because what I said is, even if you have a backup quarterback, but like let's say you drafted Dak and Zeke and they play Monday Night Football, are you just never going to use Monday Night Football players? Because then why are you even drafting those kind of play? Like, why would you hamstring a team like that? So like what happens if Monday rolls around and like the Marlins, we find out that 3 of them tested positive Monday morning, and then you're without Dak. And, so that's why I think like a weekly, that's, like I said, I think that's just something we might have to live with 2020. It's not fun in the fact of like you kind of almost give people an out and they don't have to make the tough lineup decisions. But at the same time, nobody wants to be the one that loses 3 starters Monday night to COVID.
Yeah. And that's going to be something. It's going to be something that we have to look out for. But yeah, I love the idea. I've heard a lot of people talking about the benches. That's something I think we're going to be implementing, and a lot of the other leagues that I'm involved in too. Kind of moving from the COVID stuff in general. I mean, just looking at football right now. I mean, obviously, that we're primarily have been a NASCAR podcast since the NASCAR has been like the one sport that came back first. We've been covering that a lot this season and doing a lot with that. I don't know how much NASCAR you're watching. I'm sure you probably see some of my stuff online. Are you get tired of seeing that at the time?
No, it's just I don't really even acknowledge it, honestly. Like,
right, you're looking for the football stuff.
Yeah. Hey, kudos to you for killing it. But yeah, like at NASCAR, I had a little bit of interest when Jeff Gordon was still around, but that was about it. I can't. I've tried. I even tried to play DFS, and I was the curse of DFS. I would always look at. I actually even used your thing at the time when I was trying to play DFS, and I would have at least 2 crashes. Like I was guaranteed. Same thing with golf. I have at least 2 guys that miss the cut, no matter who I read and who I listen to. So I feel like it's better for everybody else if I just stay away.
I got you. Yeah, I know with golf, that's been my thing lately too. I've been playing a little bit here and there. I know Pat does a lot of stuff with golf, and then of course we got some people over at Roto Baller. So it's just been it's been weird. So you got to stick to what you know. But with football this season in general, we're kind of getting around to it, looking at some of these guys. Who are some people that you've got your eye on that may be considered some sleepers that people can look to hit up in the drafts, maybe in the mid to late rounds?
Yeah, well, I think the most obvious one that's not going to be there by the time everybody's draft. Like, I think a lot of people right now still haven't gotten to the draft mode, but by the time people do, Terry McLaurin's not going to be a sleeper anymore. Terry McLaurin's already kind of not. If anybody follows the industry on Twitter, and I say that because not everybody does, but if everybody does, that's just going to be somebody that's just boosted up the board. So I'm going to throw out real quick. He's not like one of my favorites, but I'm just going to throw out a quick of like a comparison I keep making so far. If you want the cheap version of Terry McLaurin, he has to stay healthy, but that's why nobody really wants him is Jameson Crowder. There's no reason to look at Jameson Crowder with Sam Darnold and not say the exact same thing about what we expect with Dwayne Haskins and Terry McLaurin is more short to intermediate routes, the reliable receiver of everybody on that team. I mean, I just think that he's the one that I would actually save. Let people draft Terry McLaurin. Like, I saw Terry McLaurin starting to slip inside the top 15. Like, where's the potential return value on that? Like, I mean, now he has to be freaking amazing. I'm trying to look right now. I'm looking at I'm trying to pull up the sleepers column that I recently did. So
yeah, where can everybody follow your work at, by the way, while you're doing that?
The Athletic. There you go.
Absolutely.
The easiest way is when you told me that we were going to talk about like sleepers, I pulled up my overdrafted players on accident. So I'm looking for. I have so many damn articles that like,
we can go in that too, man. It doesn't matter. We'll roll into it.
Oh, here we go. Finally, I found it. Well, no, this thing is because I did breakouts too, and they all start. So one thing I'm really bad at, which is crazy because I write about so many people, is when somebody's like, "Who's your favorite 10th round or later sleeper?" And I'm just like, too many names. My brain just shuts off.
Right.
So in any case, no. So like, let's run through this. Let's say I'll give you one for each position. One is, and I don't think this person's even going to, with industry hype, get to where he's outpriced. That's quarterback is Gardner Minshew. Like if anybody's looking for this year's Josh Allen, Oh, the entire show. There you go.
We had James O'Shaughnessy on recently, so it was good. So yeah, we're Jags
all
boys.
the Gardner Minshew. You've got the mustache for it, so there you go.
All the way. That's our guys, man. The Wild Boys. That's what we're calling Wildcats.
People, and here's one thing, and I will say this is kind of a smart thing for everybody out there that they might not know. College football stats are stupid for rushing for quarterbacks because they get negative yards when they get sacked. So people see Gardner Minshew and don't realize how much he ran in college. Like he's a better runner than people think because all the negative sack yardage discounted some of his rushing. So make sure you pay attention to that when you're looking at rushing stats for college quarterbacks. But I love Gardner Minshew. If you look about a team that's just totally got blown up and is going to, I mean, we're kind of going back to the Blake Bortles days here where they're going to have to pass and be aggressive and have fun. So love Gardner Minshew. I think Boston Scott is getting completely overlooked at running back as the new Darren Sproles. I mean, that's exactly what they've been looking for the longest time. He is the new Darren Sproles. And again, you said deeper. This isn't somebody I'm like, oh, go get me as my RB2. But I think that, I think he's one. I will go back to Terry McLaurin's division, and I'll stay Sterling Shepard for the Giants, and not because I'm a Giants fan, because I hate the Giants right now until they get rid of Gettleman.
Absolutely.
But when Sterling Shepard's healthy, he is the guy. Like, he's the guy. Like, all of them being healthy, Golden Tate, Evan Ingram, it's still Sterling Shepard's the guy. He's the one that's getting the first targets. Now, maybe that changes a little bit with Daniel Jones, but Sterling Shepard's still going behind Darius Slayton right now, and I like Darius Slayton, and that just makes no sense to me. And then I'll give you super deep at tight end, and that's Jay Sternberger, especially with Devin Funchess today opting out. So, I mean, it's basically Alan Lazard, a bunch of crap, and, hey, maybe we get some Jay Sternberger next year.
But do you think we can have a tight end in Green Bay, though? Like, I mean, that's always been like their kryptonite.
It's also they've never had very good tight ends. It's like they got Jimmy Graham when Jimmy Graham was basically broken and dead. They did have Jermichael Finley for a little bit of time, but outside of that, here, I'll give you one. Everybody always says that. We'll go back to I was just about to say his name and it went out of my mind. He caught 8 touchdowns the one year and only 500 yards. And Jimmy Graham's name to him. Oh, who the heck was that?
Not sure.
I know I got Jimmy Graham's name in my head, and it's the G that's hanging me up because I'm pretty sure that it's a G that everybody's probably listening to your podcast screaming at me, telling me like who it is.
Oh, yeah, they're doing it right now.
My favorite thing is everybody that was still playing Jimmy Graham, like he was the old Jimmy Graham and like DFS. He's not playing.
He was the old amazing Jimmy Graham and just broken down Jimmy Graham. I'm looking right now. I'm going back through the years. Was it just 2018 that he was there? I'm gonna find him because
was it Mercedes Lewis?
No, that was Jimmy Graham. No. It wasn't Mercedes Lewis. Screw Mercedes Lewis. I hate Richard Rogers. Oh. That's who it was. He was tight end 10, 8 touchdowns, 500 yards. See, I told you.
Was he the one that caught the big one, like the Monday night game where it was like against the Lions? He had the big touchdown, like the Hail Mary touchdown. Was that him?
I think it might have been. I was thinking as when you said Hail Mary, I was thinking about the one against the Giants with Jeff Janis.
Oh no, it was the Lions.
That was
it was like
the first half, wasn't it? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
definitely Rodgers.
The point being is there's not a lot of options there. The Packers ignored Aaron Rodgers' pleas, and they have had, productive tight ends before. I mean, even if he only gets Jimmy Graham 60 targets last year, he can still turn it to 4,600 and 5 or 6 touchdowns.
It's possible. It definitely.
I got one for you. Last year, we had like the Browns were a lot of people's darling. People thought they were kind of sexy. I know I was like really, really down on them. But this year, I'm finding myself really into the D-Hop at Arizona. How do you feel about that?
I actually thought that's another one I talked about with Pat. I seem to be one of the few people still on him as a top 5 wide receiver. I think that I don't think he's getting 150 targets this year, but I think he can still get 130 and be slightly more productive because people don't realize that Kyle Murray has a great deep ball. Whereas even if he only catches the same rate as he did with Deshaun Watson, maybe he puts up a little bit more yards per reception. Everybody's so scared because there's so many weapons there, which is funny because last year all anybody was talking about this team running 70 plays a game and that you should just love everybody. And now all of a sudden everybody's concerned that DeAndre Hopkins is going to get absorbed by everybody else. Like, really? Broken down Larry Fitzgerald. I like Christian Kirk, but Christian Kirk's not taking that much away from DeAndre Hopkins. Like, let's chill out a little bit.
He's my number 1 receiver. I know that's kind of crazy.
I don't want to go that far.
Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas number 1? Let's go that far.
I'm such a big D-Hop guy just because of all the QBs he's
I see what you're cooking with back there. See, Chef, he's got the right recipe. You look back there on that wall and you see exactly what's going down.
I mean, it's hard to deny the Mike Thomas number one. I'm not going to lie, but I'm going to be a little bit bold on it. So,
you're like the person who takes Saquon Barkley over Christian McCaffrey number one or something like that. Like,
no,
like,
no, I'm not that guy.
Oh, man.
Although, look, I would honestly say that's a better opportunity because at least Saquon Barkley outproduced him in points per game 2 years ago. So, like, I would give you more of a case than that. Just say number 2, and I'll leave you alone, Drew. I'll say number 2 behind Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I'll do that just because Breeze is there. But if it happens number 1, will you give me credit at least?
I'll give you credit, but I won't have to worry about it.
So, speaking of McCaffrey, though, man, like we've got a whole new deal going on in Carolina right now with Teddy B. Are you – I mean, I know it's probably just a crazy question, but to me, like I can't help but like have this feeling that like this isn't – we're not going to see the same production out of McCaffrey this season. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
I'm not thinking that it's going to be that much different, mostly because that if he does come off the field a little bit more and, you know, they just want to be safe, Rule kind of threw that out there about a month or two ago and kind of worried some people. It's just the options behind him, but also the fact of I think this team might run more plays this year and probably better quarterback play, despite the fact I don't love Teddy Bridgewater. I actually think Teddy Bridgewater is a concern for DJ Moore's value, but you do have the person that made LSU's offense get out of the 1990s and Joe Brady and made it like the offense of college football. He's the one that made Joe Burrow throwing for record touchdowns.
Absolutely.
And now he's in Carolina. I think it's not just the Rule. It's not just the Teddy Bridgewaters. People keep forgetting that Joe Brady's there. So I think if you look at a weak defense, and we always talk about teams that we want to attack a weak defense and they're going to have to play catch up. I'm not that worried about Christian McCaffrey just for the fact that he's going to have to be the number 1 receiver and runner for this team again. I think he could repeat. But if he did get unseated and landed number 2, I think that's plausible. But I don't like. Who cares? Like if he still finishes number 2, we're not going to be that upset.
Exactly. Yeah, he's definitely still a top 3 running back for me. I'm a little more, and this might be where my bias is coming in, but I'm just a little more of the opinion that Kamara is going to really have a really good, strong bounce back year. I'm feeling it. I'm seeing it. And, I mean, there's other people out there in the industry that have been thinking the same thing.
With Kamara my concern is I don't think Latavius Murray is going away. I think that we're going to continue to see enough steals inside or vultures, better word, inside the 10 that, you know, Kamara did have unfortunate touchdown luck last year. Like he was over like touchdown productive 2 years ago. And then last year it swung the exact opposite direction until the end of the season. And I think that if you fall somewhere in the middle, that's a reasonable expectation. But if he goes back to 2 years ago, you're not wrong. Like Kamara is like one of the people that could push Barkley, Zeke, and CMC, and not even a thought in my mind. But I just think Latavius isn't going away.
Yeah. And Latavius Murray, he's a Lat Murray, dude. I don't know. After the game, I thought that we were going to see I'm a Saints fan, obviously, so I thought that we were going to see them do really well against Minnesota, and then obviously we're cursed against that team. So I thought Lat Murray was going to have a lot more involvement, and everything just kind of fell apart in that one. But it is going to be good to see how he bounces back this season. But keeping it in the NFC South, going over to talk about Drew's favorite quarterback, Tom Brady, is now in Tampa Bay. Do you see this as more of a gimmick team, or is this a real team?
I think it's a real team. I do have concerns of the fact that it feels a little bit like the Cleveland Browns of last year, and obviously a little bit different reasons, but the same like hype around it, mostly because I'm concerned, what is the offensive line? Now, granted, they did improve, but we still have to see it actually look better. The running back is still a question mark. I mean, we're getting every single week seems like it's back and forth. Like 1 week it's Vaughn, 1 week it's Ronald Jones. Now Vaughn goes on the COVID list or, whatever it might be, speculation about it. And people are talking up Ronald Jones, but Ronald Jones can't pass block. Even if he's improved, he's still probably not that good. And Tom Brady's not going to put up with that. I don't, and that's the biggest problem I have. Like, if you told me they picked up LeGarrette Blount and stuck him back there from 2 years ago, I don't think he has anything left.
LeGarrette.
But yeah, but they gave Blount in that backfield like from 2 years ago. It's crazy to say that like that being in the backfield would make you feel better about this team, but I just worry about Tom Brady. I actually have an article. It's, I guess, out by the time a lot of people are listening to this podcast on The Athletic about end zone targets, and one of the things I looked up was Kyler Murray versus Deshaun Watson to talk about what's that going to be effect for DeAndre Hopkins. And one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, bottom 5 alongside Phillip Rivers last year in end zone target touchdown percentage, was Tom Brady. So Tom Brady might have lost it a little bit. It might not just be who he was playing with. So I think there's plenty of room for excitement, and they should probably be a playoff team, but it wouldn't surprise me if they disappoint like the Browns.
You're sleeping on Ogunbowale, man.
No, I'm not. There's a reason he's a journeyman.
Crazy Earl's going to be pissed at you, man. I'm telling you, when he calls in, we got a caller named Crazy Earl. When he calls in, he's going to be real mad. He's a blunt guy, so you did good there.
Yeah.
But with Ogunbowale, man, I don't know, he's not going to be too happy about it.
What are the chances that he would have brought up Blunt and Ogunbowale? How did this come?
Right.
How did this happen? Yeah.
Do you know Crazy Earl, Jay?
That is
if
Crazy
it
Earl.
wasn't for the offseason we're in, I'm not sure that Ogunbowale has a job in week 1. Like, I think that they might have just lost it for Calais, because I think Calais is a nice pass catcher and has some pass blocking. But like, Ogunbowale swapped teams and was a journeyman for a reason. He's not that good. Sorry, Happy, you're not that good, and your finger paintings suck.
Your finger paintings, I love it.
All right, so I'm a sports betting and DFS DraftKings guy, so I jump around sport to sport a lot. And then I see all these guys that like tweet threads about season-long fantasy football year-round. It seems like they're just like all in, which more the power, that's all the power to them, because I don't know how you do that all year. But I have a theory that I can like crash course, take Adderall a week before my drafts, and be just as ready as those guys. Where can I find a league full of those guys that tweet 24/7 and put my money or my mouth at and play in a league with all those guys? Where do I find that?
With like
big.
all the season long like boasters, are you talking about?
Just like those nerds that tweet 24/7 about season long.
You gotta go. Yeah, go. What you gotta do is you gotta get like, I think it's $1,500 or what? You gotta go play the NFFC. That's what you have to go do.
Okay. I'll do that. I mean, I just don't like the guys that tweet 24/7. Then you like try to get in a league and they're like, oh, it's a $5 league. I want to like play some pretty big money.
Actually, hold on. I'm looking right now. I'll tell you how much. I think they might have smaller ones too, where you don't have to go that big. But I think the overall, and that's $100,000 like for first place if you want to do that one. But I'll look it up right now. I'm looking at their football site because I have a team that's run through there. So let's see, $200,000 for first place. Let's see.
You're getting in the high roller league right now, Drew. This is happening.
That's where you go to challenge them. That's what I'm talking. So that's the NFFC cut line. I think that's the one that you want. Let me see. Let's see how much this thing is for you. This is live pulling up. That one's only $155.
Oh, I'm in on that.
So that's 100. I know there's one that's more expensive. That's around 1,000. But it's the NFFC. So I think it's NFC.com or it's NFC.shgn.com. I don't know what the SHGN is for.
And you play in it?
Yeah, I was in one last year. So I'm seeing. All right. Oh yeah, here we go. There's entries. Yep, $1,000, $500, $400. 400, 350, 200. So yeah, but the big prizes are like the 350. Well, that's the there you go. The RotoWire Online Championship, $350, top prize, 200,000. There you go. That's what you want to get in.
Will they also get him a billboard if he wins?
But aren't those the ones that you're like in there with 1 million people? Like I want one with like 12 people.
No, it's 12 teams, but so it's 12 teams and you win if you win that league, but also to win the overall top 200,000, you do have to have the best one. That you actually do go up against multiple teams. It's I don't know how many things. I want to say it's at least 200 teams, if not more.
Yeah.
This is high roller. We just need to start a sports book.
This is what I wanted though, because it drives me nuts when people thread fantasy football season long every day. I just jump around sport to sport because Chase, I did.
There's your challenge. Go play in one of the RotoWire cut lines on NFFC.
Okay.
Challenge him. I make sure he like the question literally.
I love it.
Yeah, he went in. He gave you all that you need to know. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to find people. Once you are winning, we'll find people to taunt, and we're going to get them to get you a billboard in like 4 different cities. Chef Boi's face.
The troll self is definitely going to come out. Don't worry.
I'm ready. All right, and
So
you got to.
You're just gonna turn into one of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll be the guy. You'll be the guy you're bitching about.
Oh, yeah. I had that nerd side too. I just can't stand the people that tweet about it all 24/7. There's other sports going on. I like all sports, but there's a whole market for fantasy football. I get it.
Yeah, he's a DFS boy through and through, all the way, Jake. But yeah.
That's my biggest problem with DFS is I'm not the best game selector.
Like picking the right slate and gotta hit those 3 entry maxes, bro.
I know. That's what I gotta like. That's the biggest problem is I always pick the crappy stuff to be in.
Hey, you can always hit my DMs if you want some game selection tips.
And a date? Is that what we're going here?
You can call it whatever you want.
I love it. I love it. So
I got a good draft day question for you, or a fantasy league question for you. I'm sure you have some leagues with some of your best friends. I know one thing we did punishment wise, and one thing we did ritual wise is we had a punishment for the guy that got last. He had to do a spray tan for the whole draft weekend, and we also did 40-yard dashes for the draft order. Do you have any good punishments we can use going forward, or anything from your personal experiences that you can share?
No, because my entire league is a bunch of pansies. They won't do a punishment. They're like, yeah, it's like or whatever. No, I've been trying to do a punishment for the last 5 years. I like if you want to do it the easy route and not make anything too permanent and too embarrassing. I think the easiest one is just make the person cater the next draft. Like that person has to buy the pizzas and all the food. If you want to go further with it, I like the spray tan one. That's a good one. I would take that a step further, and I would spray tan and have to go to the beach or something, but spray tan also something like some type of stencil. So like where it didn't spray tan.
Right.
So there's like something on the back or like just loser, something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. I haven't heard the spray tan one. I like that one, but I would add to it. Like I said, I would put like some type of lettering or wording or picture on the back too.
Yeah. We made him have the spray tan the first day. Like the girl came over to our place and did it in front of all of us. So there was a little bit added to it. And that's
actually really good. I like that one because it's good enough, but it's not permanent.
Yeah.
Because the tattoo one, that's a little too much for me.
Our next one is we need one after this year. So that's the reason I asked, but our next one we have set, and then we need some more ideas. But the next one is, he had to do a photo shoot for a calendar and send it out to all the people in the league for all 12 months. He had to pay for somebody to literally put him through a photo shoot.
Yeah, but do you want that? Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like
that's blackmail for sure. For sure.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'm thinking about the guys in my league, and I don't really want a calendar of any of them for 12 months.
No, Chef's the ultimate troll. I will tell you that. So like coming in hot to the Twitter world, the troll boy in the fantasy football world. So you gotta watch out for the shenanigans. You
gotta do another. Like, have you ever seen the ones? Obviously, you can't do it right now with COVID, but like in the mall where you can go do like a music video. That's what you need to do. That, but like dress them up in like full like Britney Spears or something like that.
We'll go all the way Fergie with it.
Or there another one, but like you have to dress up too, and then that's some real blackmail because you can post that video anytime you want.
Right.
That's beauty.
I might have to use that one.
We're gonna just start a service because it seems like some of your friends. We've got to get some of your friends. We got to fix something up. So we're gonna start a service where we do draft loser shenanigans or league loser shenanigans, and we're just gonna like you pay us, and then like we just come out of nowhere and like kidnap, and then we just like okay, this is what you got to do. This is how it's gonna be done. There's no options here, and then we'll just have like a video of you if you won like talking to them. I don't know how far that would go. We might get some charges for that one too. So
we might be
maybe not
going to jail.
I was gonna say
it's kind of illegal
rolling up to places.
it's like college fraternity hazing all over again.
It's fun in
principle. Probably just watch a couple episodes of Impractical Jokers and just steal from them.
It always works.
Favor Murr a little bit. You get some Murr in you. You got the smile, the Murr smile.
I don't know. I'm not a big Impractical Jokers guy. I need to start watching this now. That's why I went silent. I'm not. I need to start watching this show now. I got to start watching it. I've never watched it. Is that bad?
No, I haven't. It's actually really funny, but it gets better. Like I would skip probably the first 2 seasons. It's kind of
okay.
You can tell the difference in the quality of like their challenges and stuff like that, and there was like a lot of them were just super quick, and they definitely got better after like season 2. But I didn't even start watching until the past year, just because there was like legitimately nothing else left to watch, and it's on TBS all the time.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna look this
right
up.
now. So I forgot which one's Murray, but I think I'm just looking him up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get a picture. I'm gonna see this, and then I'll be the judge.
I think Chase feels more like Q to me.
See, I don't even know who these people are. You guys could be insulting the shit out of me right now.
You had the Murr smile. That's it. I thought you had
me.
Yeah.
No, don't ever relate me to Murr. No, don't ever do it.
You had that.
No idea what we're talking about.
Now it makes more sense though why he went quiet. I thought he was mad at me, but really he thought I was.
No. I thought I was waiting for Chase to respond.
Yeah.
I had no idea. This is the beauty of it, though. This is the beauty of Garage Guys. So now I have Impractical Jokers to watch. Drew's got to send me images. Jake, dude, thanks so much for being on the show, man. And before I let you go, I did some recon. You were not on the podcast, so this is your first time, and you're here now. So you did it, and I'm proud of you, and I appreciate you.
Did you really do
on.
recon, or you just?
I did recon. I did.
I still believe Jake because he knew that you had another host.
I did. So I mean, he listened, but I did recon. I looked it up. There was none.
You lost the episode. It's out there in the ether. That's what happened.
I love it. But dude, Jake, thanks so much, man. We're gonna definitely be having you back on hopefully soon, and especially throughout the season. If we get this season, we're gonna stay positive. Let's all do a quick fingers crossed. NFL, it's coming, and there we go. Yeah, thumbs and fingers. I like it. I'm down with it. All right, I'm putting that on a shirt. Call your boys at the t-shirt place.
There you go. Whatever this is, you can do like the wing
Napoleon Cripple Wingbird from Dynamite. There we go.
Like offensive signs up that people are going to be offended by for sure.
Some gang is really upset right now.
Yeah, you're not posting this video, are you? Just don't put that. I don't have any assumption here. Now you do. There you go. All four of them.
All right. Yeah. There's nothing offensive about this.
Can you pull that up? I can't see.
Oh. Yeah. I'm quad jointed, bro. I can do it all.
I feel like this would be a good shadow puppet.
All right, we're gonna hit them up. We're gonna hit them up. Make a shirt out of that. That's a new thing now. All right, we're gonna get them. All right, Jake. Thanks so much, man. We'll be seeing you. Best of luck this season.
All right, you too.
It's the Garage Guys. 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 It's the Garage Guys.